Alas, it is Banlist season, and we have something to talk about, guys. The Forbidden List has dropped. You guys have already seen it. Just talking about it. If you don't feel it, you know what to do. Click off the video. Stay on the video. I don't really care. Anyways, I'm just joking. Please stay here. Guys, the list is really interesting. I really feel like dragons and to an extent, Zodiac have definitely been impacted. I most definitely think the Guard Dragon LP is going to be crippling and devastating to pretty much anything the Dragon Link player wants to do, but trust me, it's going to get worse if you play Dragon Link, so just bear with me. But also, Dryden getting hit is very interesting as well, although it will be okay because they can still have a really fluid engine that can get into a big Zeus extremely quickly. It's just Dryden being the catalyst and being the controller of a game. It's just not going to be quite what it was. It's gone. So, you know, it is what it is. But Zeus is still going to be a nightmare if people want to continue to play the Zodiac engine. It's a really solid engine, and it was used beforehand without Dryden, so I don't see why it wouldn't be used now. Getting into what has been limited, Miscellaneous Source has been limited to 1. I do think Dino is still going to be played. It's just going to be far more fragile than it was, and it won't have the same type of recursion and ability to sustain itself through a long game. It's just going to be more top heavy, but it's still going to be used. If you expect to not see Dino, you're going to be poorly and sadly mistaken. Let's just be honest with that. Performance Pal Skullcrobat Joker. As always, it ebbs and flows in and out of the game, where it comes back off the list and everybody remembers how broken it is and they put it back onto the ban list. I feel like that's just going to happen again. Skullcrobat Joker is an insane card. I would pick them up today or as soon as possible. As soon as you actually see the ban list, I would go grab it if you plan on playing Pendulum, because it's going to be used most definitely if you play any kind of Pendulum deck. It's just going to be magnificent how powerful that card is. You guys already know Triff is going to come up with something. Striker Dragon being limited is the other hit to Dragon Link, which I think renders the deck almost useless. I still think it'll be somewhat usable if you really love dragons that much, but it's going to be extremely devastating. Now to get to the fun part, we're going back a couple years, back to 2018, I believe the year was 2018, 2019 years. Salamangreat and Sky Striker are back into the meta game. Now, how meta are they going to be? Well, Engage being at 1 and Mirage Stalio being at 1 most definitely would lean towards some of the players that have played these decks, love these decks, know them backwards and forwards. It's going to be a beautiful thing to see because it's now going to interact with powerful decks like Tri-Brigade, which went untouched, powerful decks like Drytron, which also went untouched. It's going to be really interesting to see how Shark Cannon and the Sky Striker engine is going to interact with Drytron, interact with Salamangreat the way that it used to, interact with Tri-Brigade the way it's never been seen before. It's going to be really interesting. I really like how simple, fluid, and to the point that this deck is, and this list is, pardon me. But definitely, if you're looking at these two as interesting metagame changes, I do feel like what just happened is we went from a combo heavy format, aggro heavy format, to more of a control heavy format with Sky Striker and Salamangreat obviously entering onto the list. So moving along, I do think that Double Iris Magician is also really interesting. It's going to lead to more OTKs from Pendulum, and I think the Skullcrobat is going to help facilitate a lot of that. But also the ability to get to the Pendulum graph with the trap card inside of Pendulum Magicians is definitely going to be something that you're going to see as well. I don't feel like that's anything that you couldn't have figured out yourself. You know, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. And last but not least, Symbol of Heritage, which if you give combo players long enough with a card like this, something will be figured out within the week. I'm telling you that now, and you guys clearly watching this list, you could almost come up with something down in the comments. Feel free to. I don't really care. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. There is going to be so much content coming behind this. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Expect deck profiles. Expect content to come this week. See you later. YG baby. I'm out.